What's going on, everybody? We about to get this road on the show in just a minute. Hope everybody's having a good day. We're finna get ready to get started, and um, in the new digs, in the new spot, the new home of Titans and Truth, and we finna get ready to get started. So y'all make sure y'all go ahead and share this show out. Let everybody know what's going on. Let everybody know that we got the show happening. I'm actually working on sharing the show out myself as well. But make sure y'all spread the message to all the Titan groups on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter. Make sure y'all share this show out so that way everybody can come on in and we get ready to talk Titans Colts 2 as the rematch is set to take place. So y'all get ready to come on in. We're gonna have a good time. Hopefully everybody's doing all right this evening. And before we have this big Thanksgiving holiday. And so, you know, um, come on in and let's get ready to have some fun. And let's get ready to talk some Tennessee Titans. And we about to get this road on the show. So hopefully everybody doing all right and everything going good. So I'm just right now making sure I share on Instagram as well. So let's get ready to get this show started. And again, I thank y'all for tuning in with me, and we are about to get live. All right, let's get kicking.
Tighten up. Let's get tightened up. Tightened up. I've been scoping from the sideline, waiting for the right time to send the precious team to scrimmage. So I'm busting y'all. Welcome to Tennessee. We got your wild back. We got this here. This is so. Out your line, your wild back. See, we got this here. It's a brand new dance and it's about to go live. Tighten up, Nashville, rep the 615. First you tighten two steps, step to the right. Then you tighten two step to the left. Blue jerseys everywhere. Game face, yeah, we got it all. Sticking out our chest. People know that like it's King Kong. Count that. It's about to get her up. Here come the train, y'all. Tennessee, tighten up. Let's get tightened up. Tighten up. Let's get tightened up. Sticking out my chest. We know that like it's King Kong. Sticking out my chest. We know that like it's King Kong. Tighten two steps to the right. Then you tighten two steps to the left. Sticking out my chest. We know that like it's King Kong. Sticking out my chest. We know that like it's King Kong. Third down, come around.
Good evening, Titan Nation. How is everybody doing? Welcome into a brand new edition of Titans and Truth. I'm your man, Chris, aka Blue Enforcer, and I'm glad to be with y'all this evening. And as y'all can see, I'm in the new digs. I got my new place of residence that I call home. And right now, it's very not Titan-esque just yet. I'm gonna try to see if I can show y'all a very quick picture. As y'all can see, got to forgive the sound back there. Just gonna show y'all a little bit. Right now, this is just the beginning. Got a lot of work to do on it, but I guarantee you, when it's done, it's gonna look absolutely incredible when it is complete. So y'all forgive me for that, but I just wanted to make sure I let y'all know I wasn't lying about that. Definitely in the new digs. So just kind of getting used to everything a little bit, but we're gonna have some fun, and I look forward to keeping the work on the new digs and make everything just so, as Stephen A. Smith would put it, oh, so beautiful. So let's go ahead and get into this show. Let's get started. Y'all don't want to hear me rambling off about, my home or nothing like that. Y'all want to talk about some Titans. So let's get into that. I see some people in here, DO9, up in here saying we got to coach better, got to play better. I'm sick of that. AZ Mick, what's going on? See on Facebook what's going on. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody, and hope all of you and your families will have a great Thanksgiving coming up in a few hours. I mean, I'm going to definitely try to make sure I eat as well. Jameson, what's up? You got Brandon saying next man up. Do we know anything with Bowers? With Adoree still? Not sure yet. He hasn't practiced, so definitely not sure what's going on with that. And so we're definitely going to try to find out what's going on. DMS says, what's up, Chase? What's going on? Got me a Derrick Henry jersey. I like that. On Facebook, it said, Adoree better play. I agree. I would hope he does play. And we are so ready for the coach. Y'all forgive me that sound back there. That's just my garage right below me going down and everything. So I'm looking forward to this game. I'm excited about this game. And I think this is going to be, telling. It's basically for the AFC South Division crown. This is the most important game the Titans are going to play this season. This is the major game. And again, y'all make sure y'all share on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter. Make sure y'all share the show out, and make sure y'all hit that like button too, definitely. And so if you weren't around, y'all do remember Titans defeated the Ravens to go to 7-3. And I'm going to see if I can pull up the clip of the Derrick Henry game winner. So let's see. Give me just a moment, y'all. And I'm going to try to pull up that game winner against Baltimore. Let's see if I can get it to play. So I'm going to have that coming up in just a second. But, yeah, I mean, that was just a great game, fun game, to watch, to see, and everything. So I enjoy watching that, but here it is.
His career. Henry getting free. Henry's going to end the game. Titans take it in overtime. We talk about his second half surge. It just starts to wear you down, and you saw the effort Henry gave. Cut back, finish, get through the arm tackle. And Tennessee survives on the road. And they win in Baltimore for the second time in 2020.
Well, there it is. That was the game winner. And, of course, I got to make sure I shout out Brandon Bowers. His birthday was recently. Happy birthday. I thought I said something on Facebook, so don't say I didn't say that. Yes, I did. I know I said something trying to get on me. But, no, happy birthday. Hopefully you had a good one. Hopefully you and your family got a good one. And we are definitely, as the thing said on the beginning, this is a revenge game. It is time to get revenge. It is time to get back at those stinking Colts because we owe them. And it is time to take our division. Ooh, some good water. But it is time for us to take the division. It's ours. We deserve it. They don't. We got to make it happen. So we got to take this division now. And as we close the book on the Ravens, I mean, that was a terrific game. I believe Derrick Henry was nominated for FedEx Ground Player of the Week. I mean, A.J. Brown had that Herculean angry run that got him the Angry Run Award from Good Morning Football. So I was definitely glad about that. And, I mean, it was a great game. Great game. We got the job done. We got the win. But injury report from today, and this is some big news that came out earlier this afternoon. Of course, I was listening to Jared and the GM earlier, and I believe Joe Rexroad of the Tennessean, and was talking about this. For the Titans injury report, Roger Saffold, who missed the last game, was practiced. He was limited, but he did practice. Adam Humphries and Kenny Vaccaro full practice today. So that is an excellent sign by all three of those guys. Big sign that maybe Roger Saffold plays this game. Definitely an excellent sign of Adam Humphries and Kenny Vaccaro getting off of that concussion protocol. Michael Pruitt practice full today as well. That's a pretty big deal. And I know A.J. Brown and Dennis Kelly did not practice. Of course, I'm not really reading nothing into that because, they tend to have a day or two off every week so far. And I'm trying to think of anybody else. Laurel Murchison, I know, practiced fully. John New practiced fully. So we're seeming to be getting a few guys that could be coming back. So that's actually pretty big for that particular game. And some big news on the Colts side is that Colts defensive lineman DeForest Buckner was placed on the COVID list today. That happened today. And I want to say, now, they never came out and said if he tested positive for COVID or anything like that. There's, and it could be that that he was in contact with someone that did have COVID-19. So it depends on when that happened. It could be that he could be back 5 days from when the contact happened, or if it could be 5 days from today, which if it's 5 days from today, he won't be playing in the game against the Titans. He wouldn't be able to come back until Monday. So, we got to keep our fingers crossed. He's not been ruled out yet. He's on that list. We'll definitely keep an eye on that and definitely see what becomes of that. But if he does not go, that is a big blow to their defense. Danico Autry, I believe, is also on the reserve COVID list as well for the Indianapolis Colts. So they could be down their two best defensive linemen for this particular game, which will be a pretty big deal, especially if you get Roger Saffold back in the fold. That would be major for the Tennessee Titans as far as being able to run the ball off, effectively and be able to run the offense efficiently. So that is a pretty big deal that could definitely happen and could definitely help us as far as winning the division. So, I believe there was a clip, and that was courtesy of the NFL network as well, talking about that. And I believe Jeff Saturday was on ESPN, and he mentioned basically saying that he basically said that the winner of this game is going to win the division. That's basically what it's going to come down to. The winner of this game is going to win the division. That's pretty much what it is. So we're definitely going to see what happens with that. Jameson says, I like this. King Henry's going to make the Colts bend the knee by force. I know that's right. Drumstar saying Brett Kern is back. Now that I am not certain yet. He is still on the IR. He's still on IR, designated to return. They have not designated him to return yet. But I mean, if they can activate him, that would be a pretty big deal. So we don't know just yet what's gonna come of that. But it would be nice if we're able to get him back. Let's see. Joseph says Adam Humphries practiced today after being diagnosed with a concussion. Yeah. So that's pretty big news. Brandon says Adoree has to play. It's been too long. I agree. King Isaac says, I want the Colts head. I know that's right. And Tyler says losing Jayon was a huge blow. Yes, it was. Losing Jayon Brown was a big blow to the defense, a huge blow. However, you would think that this would be where David Long could take over, but the problem is he is still on the COVID-19. He's still on the COVID-19 list as well. And so we'll definitely have to see about that. Let's see. So if David Long comes off the COVID list, that would certainly help. But if not, that means Will Compton's gonna have to step up big time. Brandon Bauer said they did release FedEx though. Talk about Trevor Daniel. Actually, he got re-signed back to the practice squad. Now I don't know what that means. Even though they didn't keep him on the roster, so maybe there could be something with Brett Kern possibly coming back. We're definitely gonna see. Yes, it was a wrist injury, but I mean, even though the punt, you got to be able to catch the ball so that you can punt. If you have a bad wrist, you're not going to be able to catch the ball completely. So that's some of the big news that's come out as far as the injury report. Again, getting some guys back was huge. That's just that's huge to get some of those guys possibly coming back. So I like that. I'm trying to see if there's any other news as well on that. I don't know. But let's see. Malcolm Butler is number 2 for fan voting for corners for the Pro Bowl. Let's see. Derrick Henry, Butler, Byard are in the top 10 of their respective positions. So that's actually pretty big. So Malcolm Butler could be getting some Pro Bowl love. I don't know how they're going to do that this year and everything. So Tyler says, Vrabel loves FedEx. What's the deal with that? I mean, I work for FedEx. I mean, FedEx drives me crazy, but hey, it's a good job, so I keep it with that. James Bryan says maybe some 3 safety look with Vaccaro back. That could be the way to go with the Indianapolis Colts. I mean, with Jayon Brown out, somebody's going to have to be able to cover Nyheim Hines out of the backfield, and that's something that we're going to definitely talk about later in this show, talking about that. So that's something we're definitely going to get into later on, is about these Colts and how can we beat them. But I want to know from y'all, who is your two-tone blue star of the week from this game? There are quite a few nominees that could be nominated for this particular award. I know a lot of people are probably going to go King Henry, and I would understand if you did, getting the game winner. Also, I would say Corey Davis. Corey Davis definitely deserves a nomination. 5 catches, 113 yards. A.J. Brown with 4 catches, 62 yards, and that go-ahead touchdown in the fourth quarter that almost took the Titans to victory in regulation with that. So, I mean, definitely those guys definitely deserve some nominees. Harold Landry with the big sack in overtime that pretty much forced a 3 and out. That could be something. Amani Hooker not only getting a good interception, also broke up a big pass in the end zone against Marquise Brown, although he kind of got caught napping, giving up that touchdown to Mark Andrews. I like this with they're doing Madden for Pro Bowl. That's right. Yeah, I do remember that. Joseph throw up emoji for Trevor Daniel. Let's see. Brandon says McNichols for pushing AJ in the end zone. Now that was true. I mean, AJ Brown just refused to go down, and McNichols definitely pushed him into the end zone. That was something that I thought was absolutely incredible. Let's see. Zach says Tannehill going 7 for 7 on the final drive in the fourth quarter and overtime. Tannehill got back to being his old self, which I thought was pretty cool. Tyler says 3-way tie between AJ, Corey, and King Henry. What's up on Facebook? I'm pretty sure my guy Daryl John is watching. I know Zay Anderson is watching on Facebook as well. So shout out to those guys. And make sure y'all continue to spread the word. I like a couple of these out of nowhere nominees. Belvis says Aaron Brewer for stepping in. Didn't hear his name in a negative way. I do agree with that. Aaron Brewer, I will admit, did a very, very good job subbing in for Roger Saffold, because he had to do a snap at center, and then he had to go to snap at center when Ben Jones went out. Not when Ben Jones went out. He played left guard most of the time. Jamil Douglas, of course, could be a Dunce of the Day nominee for that bad snap in the King Cat formation. But yeah, Aaron Brewer definitely deserves an honorable mention because he did step in and do pretty well. Now, I know Calais Campbell and Brandon Williams was not in the game in that situation. I know they weren't in the game, but he still stepped in and did a very good job. Jameson says Will Compton needs to play like he did for the black shirts for Nebraska. That's very interesting. DNS says Desmond King for the pass breakup. That was a very good pass breakup by Desmond King. That was very, very good. I definitely do agree with that. And even though I didn't really notice him, I'm not giving him a nominee or anything, but Breon Borders doesn't suck, ladies and gentlemen. I honestly thought coming in he was going to kind of suck. He doesn't. He does not suck at all. At all. I gotta give y'all excuse me for that. I gotta wipe off some water a little bit. I gotta give Breon Borders some love because he's playing some good football. I don't hear his name getting called out a lot, which means he's probably doing a very, very good thing. So, if you get your name called out, that means you're either doing something really, really well or you did something really, really bad. So, that's something that I find to be very, very important. I'm proud of this team. I'm very glad that some of these guys are getting recognition with that. I don't really know who to choose, to be perfectly honest. Joseph says King Henry. I like that. I think the obvious choice is definitely King Henry. With that, getting the game winner, running for 133 yards on 28 carries, and he started wearing that defense down, and he did. Brian Baldinger, Baldy's breakdowns on the NFL Network, you should go back and take a look at that. He broke down some of those runs very, very well. And he showed that, even though there were some runs that he didn't get a lot of yards, he was wearing that Ravens defense down and wearing them out. And that's something that paid dividends later in the game, which led us to victory. So, I definitely like that. But I got to say, the two-tone blue star of the week, I'm going to give it a tie. First off, to A.J. Brown making a comeback. Making a comeback after having a horrible game against the Colts and got that angry run touchdown that won him the angry run scepter that comes back to Nashville for the second time. That angry run scepter. I definitely am glad to see that. So, shout out to A.J. Brown and shout out to Corey Davis. I want to say that was his this was his second 100-yard game in 3 games because he had one against Cincinnati and then he had one against the Ravens. So he had, actually 2 out of the last 4 games, he had 100 yards. And he is definitely making a case to be extended and get a new contract. He is definitely making the case for that. I will definitely say that. So the two-tone blue star of the week, of course, Derrick Henry is always going to be a star of the week, but I got to give it as a tie to AJ the Dog Face Brown and my guy, just always there, Corey Davis. Got to give it up to them. And again, an honorable mention has to go to Amani Hooker with the interception. And definitely, I'm going to give an honorable mention to Aaron Brewer. Like I said, he did a very good job stepping in for Roger Saffold. Now, whenever, of course, as usual, whenever there's a star of the week, there is a dunce of the day. And, you know, we miss Jayon Brown being out for the year, you know, and everything. But, you know, some other guys are going to have to step up. And, you know, dunce of the day, I think there are a couple of nominees for that as well. You know, as Brandon Bowers said, Jamil Douglas. And Jamil Douglas just stinks. Jamil Douglas sucks. We all know that. I mean, we all know it. Every time Jamil Douglas go in the game, we know it's a problem. We know that somebody really went down and they had no choice but to bring him in, and he always stinks up the field. You know, definitely. So, Jamil Douglas is definitely a nominee. I'm going to have to give a nominee to Ty Sambrailo as well, because I'm not going to lie to you. Yannick Ngakoue was eating Ty Sambrailo alive in that game. Almost every other pass rush, he was getting around Sambrailo, nearly getting to Tannehill, and one time did get to Tannehill, and, you know, caused what they called a fumble, even though I think it was an incomplete pass. But, I mean, yeah, Sambrailo was getting smoked by Yannick Ngakoue. So, I definitely got to give it that. James is saying, star of the week, Malcolm Butler getting the game started off with the right attitude. I agree. I definitely will be talking about that. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I did. Show some moxie. But I see Zach says John Harbaugh. AZ says Douglas for Dunce. Joseph says Dunce, Douglas. Let's see. Brandon said on Good Morning Football, they should just send a pallet of scepters to the Titans because they always on fire. I know that's right. I mean, Derrick Henry always seems to get a couple of scepters a year. A.J. Brown now has one. So, I mean, yeah. They might as well go ahead and just send about 8 or 9 scepters a year to the Tennessee Titans. Because when you got King Henry and then you got Duke A.J. Brown, and as some people like to call Tannehill King Midas on the other, you know, on the same offense. I mean, everything they touch turns to gold. So that's something there. But the dunce of the day, I think, is unanimous, goes to the sucky Jamil Douglas. He stinks. He sucks. I can't stand him. Don't like him. Don't know why he's still on the team. Just don't know why he's still on the team. No idea. But we got to have depth because the offensive line has been just getting harassed by the injury bug. And still doing all right, by the way, to be honest. So, dunce of the day, Jamil Douglas. But now it's time for my favorite segment and yours as well. Pick my brain. Pick my brain. So I want y'all to give me some questions. Anything y'all want to ask me, hit me up and let's do this. Zach saying Jeremy McNichols for his poor pass blocking. I don't think McNichols did too bad. I mean, he could be better, but you know, I mean, yeah, it could be better, but it could have been worse too. And then on some film that I noticed with Baldinger, Derrick Henry is not doing too bad of a job picking up on some pass blocking too. He's definitely doing some good job on pass blocking as well. So I mean, I definitely think Derrick Henry's improving with his pass blocking, but Jeremy McNichols has done a pretty decent job. But every guy has to struggle. But yeah, Jameer Douglas sucks. Absolutely sucks. I mean, don't know why he on this team. Don't know why he got a job. Doesn't even deserve to be in the NFL, to be honest. Steve Burwell says, tell him how you feel. Hey, I'm like Kevin Hart. Say it with your chest. I'm going to say it with your chest. So that's just how I do it. I say it with my chest. Absolutely. Brandon comes in and says, why are they not really saying what's up with AJ? Will Clowney be able to come back, or is he out for the year? Right now they're saying with AJ it's a knee, but they're probably giving him rest. So they're resting him basically. As far as Clowney, he's out for now the next 2 weeks. He's on the short-term IR, which he could come back after. They could designate him to return after 3 weeks. So that's what is happening with Clowney. So he's not out for the year. I don't know what they'll do with Adoree Jackson. I mean, honestly enough, if he's not going to play in these next couple of games, they might as well go ahead and just shut him down for the rest of the year, in my honest opinion. Let's see. James Bryan says, person we need back from injury the most. Ooh, that's a good question. First off, I would normally say Taylor Lewan, but he's out for the year. So, that's something that we really can't wish for. Lewan's out for the year. Jayon Brown's out for the year. Ty Sambrelo, they're fearing that he's probably out for the year as well. I would say one person come back from injury, Adoree Jackson. He would help this defense. It doesn't mean it would solve all the problems, but he would definitely be a big help. DNS says, what do you make of play calling? Some sketchy calls in the first half. Not consistent enough, honestly. There are some times that there are some play calls, and I'm just wondering to myself, what in the world is Arthur Smith thinking? But, I saw quite a few times where Tannehill, there was a play call, but he checked out of it, which some of it was pretty smart on Tannehill's part. So that's something that I thought. I mean, I just think there is some inconsistency on both sides of the ball as far as play calling. I just think that maybe in this particular game, I think Arthur Smith kind of, as I said, as one of my keys to points to victory last week, we got back to the basics. We went back to what worked for us. Instead of trying to be all cute and all of that, just stick with what works. Stick with what you know. You ain't got to change nothing. You don't. Let's see. Zach says, do you think Kern will have injury jitters? No. Whenever he comes back, I don't think he would. With that. Let's see. Drumstar says, we'll run out of bodyguards for Tanny. Do you think Isaiah Wilson will play Sunday? I'm going to be like a lot of people in the media will say when it comes to Isaiah Wilson. Y'all need to stop having high expectations, expecting that Isaiah Wilson's going to play. He is not going to play. He is not ready yet. He ain't ready. He's not ready for the stage. Yes, they dressed him on Sunday, but you know why? They kind of had to. He was an emergency. If we have no other choice tackle to put in there, then yeah, Isaiah Wilson will have to go in there. But don't expect Isaiah Wilson to play. He is not ready. Now, yes, he's practiced for the last few weeks or anything like that, but that doesn't mean he's game ready. He's too far behind. He needs to get himself mentally ready first, but he is not ready. Stop wanting him to be ready. He ain't there yet. Maybe later on in the year he might be, but I don't know. We're definitely going to have to find out. I mean, again, when the Titans picked him, I hated the pick. I absolutely hated the pick I would have picked any other offensive lineman besides him. I didn't want him, at least at that pick. If it was a second round pick, I probably could have lived with it. But the fact it was a first round pick, I absolutely hated it. If y'all don't believe me, go back and watch the draft show of the first round and skip to when the Titans made the pick. I will tell y'all, that will tell you exactly all I told you when it came to Isaiah Wilson. Brandon Mallett said, will Taylor be gone next year? No. Taylor Lewan will be back. He will be fine. I'm not sure exactly who you're speaking of, but yeah, he'll be fine. AZ Mix says Isaiah looked good in uniform. Yeah, he looked good in uniform. That's about it. Brandon said, would you bring in Pease in this late in the year for the defense to just ride the ship? If DPs want to come back, I will welcome him with open arms. I will welcome him back with the biggest pair of open arms you could possibly have. Hell yes, I would be fine with that. I mean, it doesn't look like it will be anything new to learn. We just go back to what it was last year. Now, Money Cartel says injuries have wrecked this season. No, I mean, it hurts, but it ain't killing us. We're 7-3. We're 7-3. Next man up. We're doing fine. Quisenberry did a pretty decent job when he had to step in for Sambrailo. Aaron Brewer did a good job. And everything. So, I mean, yes, injuries hurt, but it hasn't killed us. It hasn't killed us. We've gotten rid of some bad apples on the team, like Vic Beasley. Oh, excuse me. I did not even think about that with something I saw from Vic Beasley. That's going to be a perfect segue to Shut Your Piehole later on. Yes, I cannot wait to talk about that. I am so happy somebody brought that up. I am so happy somebody brought that up. I forgot about that. I'm glad somebody brought that up, but we'll definitely talk about that. Let's see. I'm gonna get a couple of questions. We need to start a petition to bring back Peas. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all. Not a bad idea at all. To bring them back. I'd be down. I'd sign it. Let's see. James Bryan said, when the Titans get back to full strength, it's going to be scary. I mean, minus Taylor Lewan, yes. And Jayon Brown, it'd be nice if we can get back to full strength. I'm trying to see something. Y'all give me a second. But I mean, now I forgot to mention this. I gotta give balls to Vrabel for doing that fake punt. That took balls. That took some balls, and that was awesome. That was awesome. So that will be all with Pick My Brain. I think those are some good questions that we did, and we're gonna definitely keep going with that. I appreciate everybody getting in on the action, and I hope I didn't leave anybody out. But now this game is coming up, Titans Colts, and I'm sorry, I wrote that graphic wrong. Let me make sure. Let me get that together. There we go. Now that's right. I better not say no 6-3. Titans 7-3. Colts 7-3. Week 12 in Indy. And like a lot of people said, this is for the AFC South crown. Because I think if we win this game, we get the tiebreaker. We go up from 5th to 3rd in the AFC standings. And we split with the Colts. And they have 2 division losses. We only have 1. And we would have a better road to the division title if we get this game won. So This is going to be a big. This is probably going to be the most important game the Tennessee Titans are going to play all season. You know, the Ravens was a big game because the Ravens wanted revenge and the Tennessee Titans didn't let them have it. But this game is about division. It's about the division title. If the Tennessee Titans want to be a division champion, they got to win games like this. And they got to find a way to take care of business and beat the Indianapolis Colts. They've been a thorn in our side for far too long. It is time to end it. It is time to get that victory over the Indianapolis Colts. It is time to put these Colts to bed. It is time to, I'm sick and tired of the Colts. I am. I am tired. I'm sorry, y'all. That's me going on Instagram, trying to work that out and everything. So forgive me, y'all. Forgive me for that. Give me a second. But yes, I mean, this is a big game for big reasons. You know, the Indianapolis Colts have been a thorn in our side. It's time for us to end this. It's time for us to get us a big victory. Now, we went up there and beat them last year in Indy, and we got to be able to do it again. We definitely got to do it again because we win this game, all roads lead to a division championship. That much is a fact. We have got to take care of this game. Brandon said, do you see Pittsburgh losing this year? Yes, they're going to lose at some point. They're definitely going to lose at some point. When? I don't know. But they're going to lose at some point. That much is a fact. We're definitely going to see that. But this leads me to my Blue Enforcer 4 points to victory. And, of course, as usual, these are my 4 points that I give that I believe will lead us to the promised land and lead us to 8-3 on the year. And so that's something that we're definitely going to have to do. We've got to be able to be effective. We got to be able to be together, and we have got to play as one if we're going to do this. So here are the Blue Enforcer 4 points to victory. Point number 1. We said go get back to the basics. Now we need to stick to the basics. Stick to the basics. Stick to what you know. Stick to what you've done. Stick to the basics. Stay with what works. Run the football again, because Derrick Henry quietly had 100 yards against these Colts. You know, throw a little surprise in there here and there, but stick to what you know. Stick to the basics. You ain't got to do nothing and be too cute or nothing like that, Arthur Smith. Just stick to what you know. Point number 2, be short and precise. Get the ball out of Tannehill's hands quickly, move the pocket, protect this offensive line if it's going to be a makeshift offensive line. You got to protect Tannehill. And you got to stay on the field, convert third downs. Adam Humphries could be back for this game. That will definitely help. And that could definitely pay dividends on third down. And that's going to help this Titan team be able to stay on the field and be able to score points on the Indianapolis Colts. So definitely got to be short and precise. Get the ball out quickly. Stay on the field. Use Adam Humphries. Focus on third down. Keep getting first downs. Keep that Colts offense off the field. Even though that the Indy defense is pretty good, but I'm not scared of them. One of the key matchups that I think is how is this O-line going to respond after the last time with this defensive line? Because no lie, the Indianapolis Colts defensive line beat up the Titan offensive line pretty good that first matchup. Tannehill struggled. And, Danico Autry made a play. Danico Autry made plays. You had Grover Stewart, who is a very good up-and-coming defensive lineman as well. We know Darius Leonard is really, really good. So this offensive line, whoever it may be on there, it could be Quisenberry, Sappho, Jones, who practiced as well, Nate Davis, Dennis Kelly. Got to do your job. Block these guys. Give Henry room, protect Tannehill. You do that, we can be successful. You don't do that, we're going to have problems again. And that's even without DeForest Buckner and D'Amico Autry if they don't play. Might make it a little bit easier. I definitely could feel that. So those are my offensive 2 points to victory. I'm going to read some comments before we go to the defensive side of the ball. I know somebody said they felt like it was deja vu. And I think that was Jameson. Jameson says, almost feels this game against the Colts almost feel like deja vu from last year when the 13th game was a quicker must-win game to keep our poor punchline known this year to keep our winning the division alive. So, yeah, we got to do that. Let's see. Some people think the Ravens will beat the Steelers this week. We're definitely going to see. Joseph said we put the Colts to bed on their home turf last year. Yeah, that was last year, though. That was last year. Brandon says put pressure on Rivers. He makes bad decisions when pressured. And that's a good offensive line in front of him. And that's something that we're about to get to. So Paulie D says, I believe this upcoming game against the Colts is our turning point in the season. We take care of these wannabes on Sunday. We let everybody know the Titans mean business. And believe it or not, our defense is going to win us this game. I hope so. And Jameson says, it's time to send those damn nags to the glue factory. Wow, y'all are not holding back, and I'm down with that. Y'all are not holding back at all about these Indianapolis Colts. Point number 3 for the defensive side of the ball. Be aggressive. Don't play soft. Don't let Phillip Rivers just dink and dunk on you all night. Be aggressive. Don't be afraid of the big play. If you give up a big play, so what? Coaches always say, if you make a mistake on a play, don't give a damn. Make it big. Do everything you can on that play. Even if you make a mistake, hey, try to make up for it. You can't be afraid. Don't be playing 7 to 10 yards off the ball every time because you're afraid somebody's going to run past you to the end zone. I know you don't want that to happen, but you can't be afraid. You got to be able to get up on these guys and show no fear. That's what you got to do. And we got to get into Phillip Rivers' face because if we could do that, we could force him to throw some turnovers and throw us a few. So that's something that we definitely have to do, which leads me to point number 4. And I said this last week, play with no fear, but be disciplined. And the reason why I said this is we have got to tackle well. And when I say by committee, I'm talking about gang tackling, not just one guy, everybody, all 11 guys to the football. That's what we got to do. And we got to stop Nyheim Hines because Nyheim Hines, he did some work on us the last game. He did some work on us. Very, very effective. So, I mean, that, we got to be able to stop Nyheim Hines, make sure T.Y. Hilton doesn't take the game over. I'm not sure if Jack Doyle is not playing in this game, but Doyle could be very important if he does. And the key matchup that I'm looking at The key matchup that I'm looking at, of course, I'm looking at Big Jeff versus Quinn Nelson. I think that is a big time matchup because they've had some good battles. But I also want to see what Kevin Byard and Kenny Vaccaro do against these tight ends and Himes. And maybe, you have Armani Hooker come down and be like that third linebacker or something like that to help out the defense as well. Because, I'm ready for a breakout game for Kevin Byard because Byard hasn't really done much this season, and it's time for that to change. Byard usually makes a couple of big plays a year. He hasn't made any yet. He's made mistakes, but it's kind of time for Kevin Byard and Kenny Vaccaro to earn their money. Get their act together. Let's do this. So those are the Blue Enforcer 4 points to victory. And again, I'm going to quickly go back through them. Number 1, stick to the basics. Number 2, be short and precise. Get the ball out quickly. Number 3, be aggressive defensively. And last but not least, play with no fear, but play with discipline. Because the Colts had a lot of holding calls late in that game against Green Bay, which I'm ticked off at Green Bay for not doing their job, and that was to help us defeat the Indianapolis Colts. But you know what they say, when you want something done, you got to do it yourself. You can't depend on anybody else doing it for you. But now that leads me to my prediction. And I know I didn't give a prediction on the show the last time because I really didn't know what to feel about that game against the Baltimore Ravens. I was very, very happy to be wrong with the Ravens winning. And I think this time I'm going to make a pick. And I'm going with the Tennessee Titans to beat the Indianapolis Colts and go to 8-3. 31-20. They go to 8-3, drop the Colts to 7-4, and you were essentially up 2 games on them. You are essentially up 2 games on them. So we got to make that happen. We got to take care of business, and we have got to get the W. That's what we need. We need it more than they do. And it's about time. It's time for us to get one. We couldn't sweep them, but we could at least split with them again and win the division title. But that's what I'm thinking. Let me see. Let's read some comments. Zach says 28-24 Titans. Monty Cartel says 23-20 Titans. King Guys said Derrick Henry 99-yard game winner. Hope so. Weezy Bowski, salute to the fellas. Thank you, man. We salute you too. But those are some of my predictions. I said 31-20 Tennessee Titans over the Indianapolis Colts. They go to 8-3 on the year. That's what I'm hoping that they do. And I'm ready for victory. Definitely ready for victory. Brandon says 38-24, 34-28 Titans. James says 31-24 Titans. Those are some pretty good scores. And so I like that. Again, I said 31-20. I just think that the Titans are on the verge of being not just no longer a pretender. They could go back to being a contender again. Winning games like this makes you a contender. So that's what they have to do. You got to follow up that game against the Ravens with another victory against Indianapolis. So that's that on that. I like the Titans to win this game. But before we get out of here tonight, I have my shut your pie hole moment. And the first one goes to Ravens coach John Harbaugh. And this was why. There was that big skirmish on the field where the Titans were at midfield, and they were just hopping up, excited, ready for the game, bringing that attitude. And the Ravens took exception to it. And this was a conversation between Mike Vrabel and John Harbaugh during that skirmish.
It's disrespectful.
Okay. Sorry for the sound, y'all. But that was Ravens head coach John Harbaugh, basically telling Mike Vrabel, he was saying what happened in the middle of the field was disrespectful. And Vrabel was like, look, those guys are all just standing there. They were all standing there. So you go coach your team. That's what Vrabel basically said to John Harbaugh. So I say to John Harbaugh, shut your pie hole and take the loss like a man. Take that butt whooping like a man. Shoot. I mean, you know what? I really want the Tennessee Titans to do it even bigger this Sunday with the Indianapolis Colts. I want them to step all on that horseshoe, be up and excited, and let's see if the Colts try to say anything to them, which most likely they won't. And then the other shut your pie hole moment comes from one former Tennessee Titan pass rusher, Vic Beasley, who decided, I guess out of the graciousness of his heart, decided to tweet the Titans organization. He literally tweeted. He did. Here it is right here. It says, Vic Beasley, at Vic Beasley 3 on Twitter, and I quote, to the Titans fans and organization, thank you for an amazing opportunity. I appreciate your support during my time in Nashville and hope nothing but the best for the organization. Now, a lot of people probably say, okay, that's pretty harmless. But I definitely like what Zach and Austin said on A to Z Sports earlier today. And basically they saw this tweet, and basically Zach was like, look, to the Titans fan and organization, thank you for this opportunity. He basically saying, thank you for giving me $9 million. And he basically saying, well, I wish nothing but the best for the entire organization. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't like us that much. So I didn't care for what Vic Beasley had to say. You talk about, well, I thank the fans and the organization. You didn't even connect with us. Half the time, you were late going to practice. You missed the first 10 days of camp, acting like you didn't give a damn. So why should we give a damn about Vic Beasley? Which is why I don't. I don't give a damn about Vic Beasley. He could shut his pie hole and go off somewhere on the West Coast. I could care less. Let's see, Jameson says, time to stack those victories now. I agree. Brandon Bauer says, shut your pie hole goes to, it says, the governor for keeping Thanksgiving only up to 8 people. And, yeah, so I think, yes, gatherings should be a little bit shorter. Don't have too many people. And if it has to happen, if you know somebody that's older or, has pre-existing conditions, you might want to sit away from them. You might want to step back because you don't want to infect them any further. So, I see Brandon, talking about the governor saying Thanksgiving only up to 8 people. Even with your family, only 8. Even if we were social distancing, that's crazy. Yeah, it is. So it is what it is on that. But before we do get out of here, I want to just tell everybody, I hope everybody has an absolutely wonderful Thanksgiving. I hope that everybody gets to eat a lot, eat well, watch some football, even though Pittsburgh and Minnesota have been changed to the 11th. It's been changed, I'm sorry, from tomorrow night to Sunday at about 12:15 on NBC. That's what they're doing. So that's what's going on out there. Jamo Highlight says, let's go Colts. We're going to clap the Titans. I see we have a Colts fan on here. Jamo, thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Titans do not suck. I'm picking us to beat your Colts. And even if the Colts lose, come on back and watch some more. So, welcome in. The Colts are not the best yet. They still got to beat us, and I don't see that happening a second time. Winning 2 games in 3 weeks against the same team is very difficult, which is something that the Colts are going to get ready to find out. So, Jamo, appreciate you coming in. If you're doing a Colts podcast, something like that, maybe we'll link up. We'll definitely see. But everybody, happy Thanksgiving. I'm thankful to all of you. I'm thankful to all of you out there who are watching, all of you out there who maybe haven't watched yet but will. Thank y'all so much. I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for this beautiful house that we have, and I'm very lucky and I'm very, very blessed indeed, because I know there's a lot of people out there that are not as fortunate as ourselves. So thank you. And thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus, for all that you've done for me. But everybody, I want to thank y'all for tuning in to Titans and Truth. I am Chris, a.k.a. Blue Enforcer. I will see y'all on Sunday as we talk about this game. We're going to try to do a quick pregame, but we're definitely going to do a postgame. So thank y'all for tuning in. And I got to take us out with our song. Got to do it because it will only be fair. It will only be right. Hold on, y'all. I'm going to get it up for you. Yes.
AFC Championship 2020. You did it again, man. Can't be the GOAT on the beach.
Good night, y'all. There we go. We got some big stuff coming up, too. So be on the lookout. Good night, y'all. I got my sex up, couple 300-pound lamb in case your offense act up.